Welcome, all you beautiful souls, to your weekly energy update. We're going to be looking at the week of June 12th through June 19th, and we have a very wonderful super full moon in Sagittarius that's happening on the 14th. Now, it will be at like 5:51 a.m. Mountain Time, so it'll, of course, vary throughout the world wherever you may be at. But there's some wonderful things coming in. First of all, it is a super full moon, which means it's going to be closer to us. Like I have a little diagram here of this is the sun and this is the earth and here's the moon. The full moon happens when it's over here and it's shining, beyond the earth where we can see it. In the night sky, of course. But it's called a super full moon because the moon does not orbit in an exact, orbit, very exactly circular. It's more oval. So when it's, orbiting like this and it comes into a closer spot normally than when it's out here, these are when they are super moons. So that's what's happening. It's just closer to the earth, which means that it has more of a gravitational pull. It's stronger energy, and so it's going to be extra emotional energy. And oh yay, but what's great is that it is in Sagittarius, and so that Sagittarius energy really brings in this fullness, this kind of fruition. It can have some drama, either, exciting dark drama or exciting happy drama, because it can bring in that optimism and the good luck of that Sagittarius and Jupiter energy that comes in with that. And it always goes, Sagittarius deals with travel and international things, language, cultures, international business, even learning and education. So there's going to be a lot of themes that can be happening and being touched by this super full moon during this time. And we are definitely going to look into that, because the Sagittarius energy also allows you to see things from a higher perspective. So that's one thing that we will look at for your reading, is what can you see from a higher perspective this week. Another exciting kind of astrological thing that's happening with that super full moon is that the Neptune is actually going to square with the sun and the earth, and the moon. So that is not a super fun kind of energy that comes in with it, because Neptune is going to be whispering too. So there could be some confusion, there can be some self-doubt, some second guessing of yourself. And so that's one thing we'll look at too, is what is Neptune whispering in your ear about your worth. So we'll look into that too. But that's kind of like not the bad news, it's just challenging news. But the positive news is that Saturn is actually at a beautiful degree with the moon, which is basically Saturn's all about long-term gains and like extra oomph, extra energy coming in that's going to help you with some forward movement, especially since Mercury just came out of retrograde, like on around the 3rd or 4th, and towards the end of this week on the 19th is when we're completely going to be exiting out of even the shadow of the Mercury retrograde. So you're going to have all this energy to have this forward movement. So that's something else we'll ask, is what long-term gain can Saturn bring into you? And then, of course, we'll also dig in for some advice. So an exciting reading. I can't wait to get into this for you. I have going to provide a reading for each zodiac sign. And I'm going to go ahead and start with yours right now. All right, Leos, this is your weekly energy update, and we're going to start off with these Oracle of the Seven Energies, just to see from that Sagittarian energy what creator spirit would like you to possibly look at from a higher perspective this week. Now, all the cards that I use in a reading I do list in the description box below. We'll give these a quick shuffle and jump right in. One more time. All right, so for our Leos, what would you recommend? What's your advice on where they can look at from a higher perspective. So this is your card. You've got the land between. So it's kind of looking at this little pause that you have, this little land that you're standing on here. That is card number 40. Put that underneath the moon here. And let's see what energies come in here for you with that. So the concepts, the energy of this is about being between worlds, learning to be okay while at the threshold of what was and what will be. So a time of waiting, and evolving. Gray areas, something essential yet still in development, and a metamorphosis. So this is about seeing things from that higher perspective and being able to be in that pause. It's almost like they call it the void of the course moon, where the moon isn't quite in one sign. It's like momentarily in between signs, it's like this pause in between. And it says you are in a process of change. You know that you were called to it and can no longer be who you were, but you aren't sure what the next experience of your life will be. You're in between what was and what could be in a pupal stage, like during the metamorphosis of the caterpillar into the butterfly or the little dragonfly, and it goes from, the little people into the, into the dragonfly, or a tadpole into a frog. I don't know why they're giving you all these extra examples, because you know them. However, you can't just skip the messy parts. You have to endure the unknown and the uncomfortable as you reinvent yourself. The thing is, you're not quite there yet. You have one foot in the past, even if you're ready to shed the version of yourself and become something new. You must start redefining who you are in the context of your question. What do you believe is possible when you get to the next place? Can you explore this stage of your evolution to get to know yourself better? The process in between worlds is where things get really interesting. You learn how to manage your fear, how to stay present in the now, how to see in the dark. I like that, right? You absorb the lessons offered to you with grace because you can't go any faster. This is a real test of emotional fortitude, patience, I know, another cuss word, trust, and humility. Once you've made this no man's land your home, it will be part of you. Then whatever was set in motion comes to life. And this is what you've been waiting for. When you look back, you will grow to love the place in between, for that is where you were reborn. I love it. Yeah, there is this pause that's coming in. So they're wanting you to be able to look from a higher perspective, understanding that everything unfolds for you and it's not happening to you. You're allowed to have this pause, this place in between, so you could really question what it is you really want to become, and looking back over your past going, is that really my dream? And where you're headed to, or what you think you're headed to, you were like, is that really my dream? And so there is this pause that's happening on purpose for you, just to get that understanding of what you want and to be able to be okay with flowing in the moment, not thinking that you have to wait to be happy and enjoy the moment for a future date. After this and this and this and this and this happens, then I can be happy. It's like, no, you can be happy right now for no reason at all and enjoy the process, because you know that's what's coming isn't going to be anything that you can't alter and change, or that you can't choose to be happy about. So we'll get more into that, I'm sure. Let's just dive in a little deeper here. Then we're going to use the Black Tarot here to find out what Neptune is whispering in your ear about your worth this week. So I imagine it has to do with this situation. So we'll see what they're whispering. Let's give these a quick shuffle as well. All right. So for our Leos, what is Neptune whispering in their ear this week? Okay, they do want that one here. And you've got the 10 of Wands. Yeah, you are ready. The 10 of Wands is your energy, your drive, your ambition, your inspiration, your passion, and it's your overall energy and spiritual energy too. But the 10 is about you are at the end and you're ready for the beginning. So this, whole thing we were talking about there, I mean, you can even see, let me see if I can get it in there close. You can see that they're about to head off here in this adventure. There's all this other stuff that's going on, and you've got all of this, I don't know if you can see it, it's a little person that has a ton of stuff on his back. It's like one of those cartoons where they're going hiking and they have the huge backpack that has stuff that's like 5 times as their size that you've been carrying. And so there's this burden. And I see now that they're like, it's like in the example they gave, it's like the butterfly. They're in their cocoon and they're like, oh God, after I get out of here, then I have to put this cocoon on my back. I'm going to have to fly this cocoon all over the place with all this caterpillar juice that's left over in it. And oh my gosh. And it's like, no, you get to leave the old piece behind. You get to let the burden go as you move into this new phase. So, but what's coming to you is this overwhelming feeling that you have to take all the baggage from your past along with you. But a dear friend of mine, when I was giving her a reading, it was funny because they were like, imagine you're going to a new planet and you only have so much space in the space rocket that's taking you there. What do you consciously want to take forward with you into your new adventure? And that's what you get, what frees you here. But it's understanding that and looking at it and knowing that you're okay with the journey that it's going to take to get to the new place, but what are you ready to leave behind? And you have all this. So Neptune's whispering of all that words of burden and just obstacles and weight. It's like ball and chain. It just feels very heavy and very chained and weighted down. So that's a lot of the words and the stuff that's coming in for you. But the good news is that you can leave a lot of the stuff behind. You get to leave the stuff, in the old land. You don't have to take it with you to the new land. So this is kind of like your sorting period too, the decluttering period, both of mind, body, physical stuff, emotional. You're going through that process. Now we'll look at next what Saturn can bring to you as far as that long-term gain in your life. And I've been saying Saturn is not a nonprofit organization that gives you a bunch of stuff and then hopes that you'll make a donation. Saturn is a workhorse. They're a taskmaster. They're giving you the opportunity to go through this and do this sorting and letting go of this burden. And if you do that, then this is what Saturn can bring to you as a long-term gain. So I'm going to use the You Are Awesome deck. Let's see what message they have for you. What will be your long-term gain if you choose this mission? All right, so for our Leos, Saturn, what will you bring them? Okay, they do want that one right there. You got, I openly show my emotions and intentions. It helps to have a GPS tracking device on it. No losing it for this Bigfoot. See a Bigfoot with his heart, and he's got a little tracking device on his heart there. And I like this because this allows you, when you're letting this burden go, you're able to show your emotions and your intentions of where you're wanting to head. You don't feel so burdened and you don't feel so scared. You feel light on your feet. Literally, you have big feet and you make big steps towards your dream, is what I'm hearing here too. So because of this, once you go through all this, then the movement will be, whereas you kind of feel like you're in this stuck place right now, once you finish the sorting and you take off all that big backpack full of all those stones and everything else that's in it, then you're able to make big steps and faster movement. One, because you don't see that he has this big burden up on his back. He's just carrying his heart with him. So I love that. We also are going to pull here from the Chinese tarot just to see what more advice Creator and Spirit have for you for this week. All right, so for our Leos, what else would you like them to know for this week, please? Okay, I do have those two and that one. Okay, you do want that one there too. What else? Nope, they said not all those. Yeah, I figured there was one more for the bookend here. And we will start with this one over here. And you have the moon. So this is great because the moon is about going into the unconscious, finding what's below, the surface. Usually they'll have like this, like a lake, and there's something crawling out of it. And it's because that is getting to the root, understanding, seeing the secret, seeing beyond just what you see in the physical world. And of course, we're all talking about the super full moon. So you have this moon energy that's coming in that is significant for you in this process. So you definitely are going to be feeling this. Of course, it makes sense because the Sagittarius supermoon is fire and you are fire energy. So this is your energy as well. So you are going to be able to connect. And it really is about, like the High Priestess card, it's stepping away from all the noise, getting away from it all. And she goes into her temple, and that's where she goes behind the veil, where she gets to see things more clearly. And so this has a spiritual sense to it of you connecting to the higher realms, seeing things from that higher perspective, so you can see what you do want to leave behind, what no longer is serving you, and to see the truth of things too as you're going into that. Let's see what else comes with that moon here too. Yeah, Ten of Swords. Makes sense. Another ending and new beginning, because you have the 10 of Wands there. You have the 10 of Swords here. Usually they'll show someone like laying down, face down in the dirt with 10 swords stabbed in their back. They're still looking away from us, though, at a sunrise that's coming, which shows the thing of hope and that this is coming, their way. This new start is coming their way. But these are all the thoughts and those beliefs. I call them small t truths because they're of the human side of things, which are all the opinions that we've taken on as truths, small t truths, all that popular opinion on when this happens, this is what it's supposed to mean, this happens, this is how I'm supposed to feel, just all these expectations that you can identify that will sound along the lines of supposed to, should, need to, have to, must. And it's so overburdened, when they're laying on the ground with all their swords stabbed in their back. It's not that they're dead, they're exhausted to trying to living up to all those expectations. You have the Wands energy. It's like you're exhausted from the journey and you're ready. The 10 is the ending, because then you get 1 + 0 is 1. So it's an ending and new beginning, an ending and new beginning with your thoughts and with your energies. So you definitely are sorting through, and this is definitely trusting your intuition, trusting your gut, trusting your heart, and letting a lot of those small t truths go. Because when you have all these things of your mind that you're focusing on, that's where all the angst, that's where all the anxiety and the fear and the disappointment come from. But when we're looking into our heart connected to the higher realms for this higher perspective, then we start to see things more clearly. Let's see what else we have here. You got the 3 of Wands. So this is great because where the Ace of Wands would be a new passion, a new drive, and all that, which you kind of have that here with the 10 of Wands, because that is the ending and the new beginning. The 2 of Wands would have been all the little plans and steps that you had in place with your original, what you thought was your passion or was your passion at the time, and all the steps that you had for the future. The 3 of Wands is basically you've come to a certain point in your plan. And now with this new information, with this new awareness, you are ready to head off in a different direction. The visual that they gave me when they were explaining the card to me, Spirit, it was like you're in the middle of a continent and you were making plans to get to the shore. And then once you got to the shore, you're going to board a boat and go this way. Well, you've gotten to the shore, so you've made some progress in your plan. But now that you've gotten to the shore, you're like, you know what? That boat to that destination does not interest me anymore. I'm going to go this direction on this boat to that destination instead. So you do have this awareness of a change of direction, which makes sense with here, because as you're clearing out this old ways of thinking and leaving stuff in the past behind, you're ready to go to a different direction, head off into this new land, because you're in the in-between land, right? And then let's see what we have here. Yeah, we got the King of Wands. So definitely the Wands energy has a couple of things. One, it can represent like your higher self and your higher spiritual self, because it's the most highest spiritual energy that you can achieve in the entire suit. So this is a bit of connecting to your higher self, the higher power, who you really are. This human character that you're playing here is just a character. It's a small piece of who we are. But we are the actor behind the character, a powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being that's made of unconditional love. So this is kind of pointing to that too, that you can, especially with this higher perspective, you're seeing things from this viewpoint. But with this change, because there's this change and this is kind of pointing you towards your future, where you're going, the King of Wands is a very powerful individual, very charismatic, and they are able to get stuff done. People are just drawn to them. So people will be drawn to you just because of who you are and your energy, which is, of course, such Leo energy now that I'm, thinking about it. But also, it's like the entrepreneur. It's this stepping off into this, doing your own business, doing your own things, managing, just because you have this draw to you. People are just naturally drawn to you. So you can have this popularity, you can have this recognition, you can, get into positions and roles because they're just attracted to your energy. So very, very positive card for your next step here into your future. Yep. And then here you have the Strength card. So this is very much you are gaining your inner strength, and with this King of Staves right next to it, which I was talking about being your higher self, this is the perfect card to come after this, because I don't think they have it on this one. Usually you have the human and then you have the animal. Usually there's like an infinity symbol on or near the human, which represents our higher self. And then this is the character. So this is exactly what I was saying, the character and the actor behind the character. And the story that obviously Spirit likes to tell me stories because I learn better that way. With this card, they told me, that the tiger or the lion, it's usually a lion, that's our human self. It comes down here hungry and thirsty, and it is wanting to get nourishment somewhere. And we're all told when we're younger, out there is where you're going to find that which makes you feel full, and that's going to quench your thirst. And so we're told to go to 3 different places for our nourishment. One is relationships, whether it's romantic, family, friends, work, school, even our fur babies, feather babies. It's like relationships. And then we're also told, go here and eat of situations and circumstances, like your job, like your education, like your social status, just situations that you get to experience and can get into. And then the third place that we're told to go eat is of things, our bodies, our possessions, and bank accounts, that type of stuff. And so we're told to go out there and eat of and drink of that stuff. And the more that the lion eats and drinks of that, the more hungry it becomes, the more thirsty it becomes, because those things are not fulfilling. They're unstable. They let us down. That's the disappointment, right? That's that, all this experiences of the Ten of Swords that exhaust us because we just feel like we are eating constantly and getting hungrier. And it's because relationships, people change or they pass away, so that's not fulfilling. Situations never stay the same, so they're not fulfilling. And things break down, deteriorate, are stolen or burned down, so those are not fulfilling. So the lion gets more and more desperate. Our human side gets more and more desperate, trying to find something to fulfill it, and it doesn't. And so it gets hangry. It's hungry, angry, and it starts roaring in the jungle. Well, in the beginning, our human self doesn't realize we have a higher self because it wanted to experience what it might feel like to do all this on its own. And so it feels abandoned. It's in the jungle. It's roaring. And our higher self is always in connection with us. And it goes, okay, he's ready. And it comes down. And it doesn't come down to kill us and put us out of our misery, or to cage us to protect people from us, or, bring down a whipping chair to try to manipulate us and control us, because it knows that what that little lion is hungering and thirsting for is the unconditional love of the higher realms. It is very convenient as well that our higher self is a powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being made of unconditional love. So our higher self is able to come down and just give a big hug to the lion, and it allows it to have what it needs. And so our lion, our human side, goes from being this hangry, roaring lion in the jungle to a purring little lion cub sitting in the lap of our higher self, feeling full, its thirst quenched, and feeling love it has never felt before. And it's great because when our higher self does that, now our lion is aware of our higher self. And it's not like Superman that flies down, rescues and solves a problem, and then flies off. Now that the lion is aware of our higher self, our little human side is aware of our powerful spirit self, they can walk hand in hand or hand in paw going forward in life, and it's a whole new, different experience. So it's like this is the threshold. This awareness that's coming for you here allows you to make this new adjustment and to walk differently in a new path in your life here, letting go of a lot of this burden, all this stuff that you were told were supposed to fulfill you, and you came down here to experience it on purpose, for a purpose, because in experiencing our lion side, we're able to understand more fully our spiritual side. By feeling small, we can understand what big means. By experiencing fear and conditional love, we can understand what it feels like to experience unconditional love. Because of that contrast, we see the difference between the two. So beautiful, beautiful awareness is coming for you this week. A lot of freedom, a lot of sorting through things to get you ready for this next stage of your path. I love it. I love it. I love it. If you are looking for more messages of love from above, in addition to these weekly energy updates, I also put out readings for each month by like a monthly for each zodiac sign, and also a few other types of videos throughout the month. So if you don't want to miss out on any of those and be notified immediately when they become available, if you give this video a little thumbs up and click the like button, also click the subscribe button, and that gives you access to the notification bell. And when you go in there, if you select the all option, then you'll be notified of any new videos that come out on my channel. Also, doing those things helps spread the love, and it helps my channel grow in significant ways. Because when you like a video or you share video, comment on a video, especially if you subscribe to the channel, doing those things makes the YouTube algorithm so giddy, it wants to share the videos of this channel with other people as well. So if you feel inspired to do any of those things, I'm very, very grateful for that. Also, these are general readings, and if you're looking for even more specific information for your specific life, I do offer personal readings, and all that information is listed in the description box below. All right, roaring mighty Leos. Yeah, this is actually like a Leo card too, which is great. But as you go through this amazing week. Please know that every second of every day of your life that you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things. And of course, I love you too. Have an amazing week. I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon. In the meantime, you hang in there and you take care.